Welcome to another week, another show of Hawkeye with me, Dave O'Hara. Here we are. Carver Hawkeye Arena, Iowa Hawkeyes. Love doing shows here. Big Ten Conference Room. Thanks to James Allen and the Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball team for coordinating us with this, and Payton Sandfort. Last week's show. We've got Payton at the end of this week's show, too. We're going to do two segments with Pryce Sandfort, and then we're going to have Payton, Pryce's older brother, join us to close out the show. So first of all, freshman of Iowa Hawkeye basketball team, Pryce Sandfort, great to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Good to meet you.
So let's talk about it a little bit, your transition to this year. Your brother, you've been at Carver Hawkeye forever, even when they were recruiting Payton, and you came here, and so you know all the principals involved, all the players, former, current coaches. So what was it like for you walking on campus the first time? I saw the social media, and we talked with Payton about your basketball family, your mom Gretchen, dad Brian, your grandpa Bo, your sister Piper, and Payton. You've got a very supportive group. What was it like for you when you walked on campus the first time officially, not as just visiting or hanging out?
Felt great. I've been watching a lot of games here for the past 2 years, just in the stands. So, I've been I was excited to get on campus and get with the team finally, start the practices, and start my career here, and it's been great so far, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here, and I saw the video and also pictures of you and Payton walking on campus together. But so more pressure because your brother was here before you, or it helped ease things a little bit, or expectation of the fans, of yourself, of teammates? What's that like for you?
I'd say a little bit of both. Obviously there's some pressure. He's had a lot of success here, so I do see what people say about me and what they say about Payton, and how they kind of compare us, but we really are not the same player. We're different people, different players. Obviously I'd love to have a career like Payton is having, but just try and not pay attention to what people say is another thing that I've learned since being here. A lot more negativity around you than high school, and just kind of stay in your course and stay in who you are is something I've learned as well.
Yeah, and you get to see that firsthand through your brother, as you mentioned, because as much as we love the fans, sometimes they can be a little, social media also adds to that, where years ago players didn't have that. And that's a tough, I don't think people realize that, and I'm really glad you went there. That's a tough balance from high school. Like you said, you're in your own corner of the world, you're winning every game all the time, blowing people out, that type of thing. But then you get here to Iowa, and, a little bit of a struggle bus right now. We record this on Thursday afternoon, December 14th. So right now at 5-5 and 0-2 in the Big Ten Conference. But to your point, you're learning a lot of lessons. It's not high school, and you're in a fishbowl. I mean, everybody's here looking at you, and even if you're the 8th, 9th man coming in off the bench, or a starting five, and things are going great, it's a whole different world, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I've had my fair share of struggles so far, but I think it's part of the learning process. That's what everybody's telling me, and I know that I'm going to eventually step up and do some good things for this team, and I'm excited to do that, and I know I can do that, so looking forward to it. But right now, do what I can. Stay positive, stay confident.
And that's what Payton and I talked about a couple years ago. He said he went through this, and you merged perfectly into that topic of, it's nothing technically per se. You don't want to change everything out and do anything. You want to stay the course. You know you can do it, and you've done it, and you've got a lot of support in that end. So as a freshman, you guys have really set your mark. And Payton and I talked about this in last week's show. You and Brock Harding and Owen Freeman and Elijah Dembele, your freshman class coming in here, you guys have really set the tone. You're ready to play. Your shot's going to start falling, but as you mentioned, you're more of a player than just your shot. Big guy, play great defense, rebound, run the floor, which you got to do with Fran, right?
Got to.
You heard it. He said it 3 times. Got to. But what I love about that is you and the other 3 freshmen came in road ready. You guys are ready to play. Do you think that's attributed to all the AAU and just your level of competition in high school, having an older brother here, but the other guys didn't have that advantage? So I'm just curious as to why the 4 of you did you make it a mindset of, hey, we're going to be a part of this?
Like you said, just all of those things you said. Having Payton here obviously helped. Getting here and getting started right away, getting going, getting that confidence right away. But I had a good high school career, good AAU season, a couple of years before I came here, I guess, about a year before. But, just coming in here confident, like all 4 of us did. It helps when you have a coach like Fran that has a lot of confidence in you right away, and just overall coaching staff. but we all played together on the same team. You got the first team, and then it was 4 freshmen and Josh DeSante on the second team. So we kind of all learned together and got our confidence together and really learned how to play well together. So I'd say that was a big part of it as well.
What was your Mackey Arena experience? That wasn't like playing Centennial or something, right? That's a little different?
Yeah, I'd say it's a lot different. Yeah, that was definitely the most insane environment I've played in my career.
They get on you a little bit, don't they?
Oh, they get – yeah, I wouldn't say it was so much they get on you. It was just so loud.
Yeah.
That place, all the sound echoes. It wasn't like they're screaming stuff like Iowa State at you that they're trying to really get really get inside of your head. But I mean they're all for their team and they're gonna scream. It's gonna be loud, but it was insane.
I was gonna mention it to you. Iowa State, I'm sure, had its own brand of weirdness for you, being a Des Moines area kid. And game was in Ames, and your teammate, high school teammate Omaha Ballou was there, and another player, and I'm spacing his name right now.
Kate Kellerman.
Kate Kellerman, it was there, and so I mean, I'm sure it's nice to see those guys, but yet they're enemies then, and then you played Michigan here at Carver Hawkeye, and that was a tough week. Peyton and I talked about that last week, and we record this on Thursday, December 14th, before you go to Des Moines and play at Wells Fargo Arena, and that's kind of old home week for you, some state titles and state playoff games there, and Peyton and I talked about that too. But for you, then, what other eye openers have you had besides the you were expecting that at Iowa State? That couldn't have been a surprise to you. I got to believe if you never hear the term boiler up again, you'll be okay with that, right?
Yeah, I'd be just fine.
Yeah, at Purdue, that was that's the common scream over there. But for you, then, what has really jumped out at you? You talk to a lot of young players, and they'll say the speed, and not the speed of the game, but the speed that everything happens.
Yeah.
The pace is fast enough. Yep. What for you has been the biggest adjustment from high school or AAU to college?
I'd probably say the speed, the physicality. Obviously I'm not there physically, but I'm really working on that, and everybody's just a lot stronger than they were in high school. But I've had a lot of learning experiences, a lot of different things from high school. Like I've never came off the bench before, and I got to sit 45 minutes and come in, and the body just isn't as loose as it is when you're on the starting 5 or whatever it is. But it's been a great experience. I'm learning, working through it.
Well, you made it through the first segment. Everything okay with you?
All good.
Beautiful. I love it.
Good.
So we'll do another segment with Pryce, and then Peyton will join us for the third and closing segment, final segment. He is Pryce Sandfort, freshman basketball player here, Iowa men's basketball, going to get that sharp shooting touch back. He's kind enough to join us for this week, and I'm Dave O'Hara with Hawkeye. We'll be back with another segment with Pryce, as I mentioned, and then Peyton will join us to close out the show. Peyton Sandfort, his older brother. So we'll be back with more Hawkeye in just a few moments.
To have a strong finish, you need an excellent start. It's true on the track and also in the field. That's why Merschman Seeds works tirelessly to deliver cutting-edge technology year after year. Introducing Starting Line, Merschman Seeds' latest advancement in seed treatment, now providing added protection from white mold and sudden death syndrome all season. Ask for Starting Line seed treatment from Merschman Seeds, your friend in the field.
Welcome back to Hawkeye with me, Dave O'Hara. Here he is, Pryce Sandfort, younger brother Peyton Sandfort. You hear that all the time, I'm sure. You're a freshman at Iowa this year, men's basketball player. And so more real talk, recruiting. I know that's just a grab bag, and I only want you to say as much as you're comfortable saying, but I talked with Peyton about this the week before with Tucker DeVries and the Drake experience, and obviously he's a couple years older than you, but you knew Tucker, you knew Darren and Dad, and could have played at Drake and stayed in town. What was it like for you? What was your recruiting process like? And were you always a Hawkeye? Somebody was going to have to unseat him, or you were just kind of up in the air until it came down to the decision?
Yeah, I would say I was definitely up in the air. Had a good amount of schools recruiting me, but honestly, a lot of them told me they just didn't want to go into it because of Iowa and with Peyton being here. So that was a little difficult. I had to try to convince a lot of schools that I was open. Obviously, I ended up going here, so may have lied to them a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was really I was open.
Sure.
But I had a lot of great schools recruiting me. Drake, obviously, like you said, got really close with them. Was really close with Tucker when I played with him at Waukee and Darren, and got to go on official there, and that was my only other school I went to an official on before I decided to commit here. Got 2 officials here, but so it was a great official at Drake, and loved that school.
So was Iowa State ever in the fray?
They actually were. They came to some open gyms, and I thought they were pretty close to offering me, and then Iowa offered me, and I never heard from him again.
Yeah, funny how that works, right?
Funny how it works.
Yeah. Well, I just your basketball journey is fascinating. Again, I mentioned your basketball family with your mom and dad and your grandpa and your sister, obviously your brother Payton. It's a basketball family, but I think a lot of people think, oh, you just roll out and there it is for you. But you had a lot of interesting twists and turns, and I really think for you, especially coming to Iowa here in the recruiting process, as you mentioned, it's almost like go ahead and count me out. So I like that you've had a chance to really look at some things, from the 30,000-foot view, as they call it today. Mm-hmm. So talk to me a little bit about that, or talk to us a little bit, if you would, please, about your feelings about, being on a big campus like this, going from a high school environment. That's a usual adjustment for anybody, but you got a lot of exterior things that I don't think a lot of people realize. Talk to us a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, like I said, I was completely open, but went on a visit here and decided this was just home. I wanted to be here. Being close to home was something that was on my mind. But I've been around the program a long time, watching Payton play. Always knew that it'd be a good fit for me. So finally getting here and really learning the insides of the program, learning how Fran coaches, the things we want to do as a program, it was just for me.
Yeah, I think style of play, and let's get into that just a little bit about this year. Is we talked about the adjustment in the first segment that you had, but I kind of want to revisit that just for a minute. When you talk about the way Fran plays and get that ball off the court, as you and I mentioned, get the ball off the backboard and run, and you said you got to. But I love the fact though that you also press on defense. You got to play a lot of press defense, and you're all over the floor. That has to be for an angular guy like you, long and lean. That is perfect. A basketball body, and you hear broadcasters that were former Big Ten players say, "Oh, I'd love to play for Fran." I kind of gave a little bit of that away, but tell me why. I got to believe you're going to say that in the future when you leave here too, and say, "Oh, it was great." Why is Fran such a great players coach?
Well, for one, he's always going to be on your side. I made that clear the first day I was here. He's fighting with refs. A lot of people see that. He's just trying to protect his guys. Yeah. Also, just the confidence he has in every player he recruits, and why he wants to get them to come here is just he has the ultimate confidence in them and what they do as a player. So I feel like I have the ultimate green light, even though I'm not shooting it well. He's always talking to me, telling me to keep shooting.
Wait, and I got to jump in. And isn't that great as a young freshman, not saying, hey, until you find it, just hold the ball for a while or keep passing. Yes. You've referenced that a couple times. That is very key. And kudos to Fran or any coach that does that to say, hey, you're a shooter. This is why I recruited you. That's easier said than done, but he backs it up by not, you don't have to worry about taking a shot and then looking over your shoulder going, oh, I'm going to get pulled out of here. I mean, that means a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely as a freshman, trying to find my confidence back. Kind of lost it through the stretch I'm having, but really fighting, talking to the whole coaching staff, really, Payton, my family, everybody just has the ultimate confidence in me, and that boosts me a little bit too.
I must tell you, and I mention your family a lot, Mom, Dad, you did very well, because both you and your brother, this is not an easy interview to do during, you're not, the season isn't over, but you're 5-5 as we record this again on Thursday afternoon, December 14th, and 0-2 in the Big Ten Conference. And both you guys could have said, well, Dave, we're going to reschedule, but kudos to both you and your older brother initially, Payton, for committing to this and still following through, because these aren't easy times, but I love the fact that you both are saying, well, it's never going to be easy, and you got to get through it. And, Payton went through it the last couple of years and made some twists and turns, and they came out the other and had pretty successful seasons. So you as young guys, you and Owen and Brock and Elijah have to see this and go, okay, these guys aren't just throwing words out here. They showed us the two previous years that they can come back from turmoil.
Yeah. Obviously, I had to fight through some adversity through my high school career. Yeah. 2 state championship losses that definitely hurts the soul a little bit. So I've had to fight through it before. You can't really have success without adversity. So welcome it on, and I'm going to be better. So.
I couldn't wish you more good luck than we do. And I love that you said that. It still hurts the soul. I talked to Adam Haluska, and you're familiar with the name a little bit before your time, but Adam's on this show regularly, and last year he talked about that Northwestern State game. Sorry, fans, I don't mean to swear at you, but Adam said, he goes, I think of that game at least once a day. Yep. Every day. And that happened, 15, 16 years ago, and he's like, oh, no, or 17 years ago, he goes, I Kent McCausland from 1999, the last Iowa team to make it to the Sweet 16 with Jess Settles. Both those guys can recount the bus ride back, and that's when Tom Davis was fired from here. And I mean, it's amazing how you hear stories like that and you're a young guy and you're thinking, you guys
Yep.
I can tell it still affects you to this day, losing those state championships.
Oh yeah, it really kills.
Yeah.
Both of them I lost. Each team had their own personalities and things that I was going to miss from my freshman year. All the seniors that welcomed me in and kind of took care of me, so that really hurt. And then my new coach that I had at Northwest really wanted to win him a state championship.
Sure.
And a lot of the younger guys that hadn't got to experience that like I did my sophomore year. So definitely hurts, and I'll think about it forever.
And I love the fact that you're a true competitor, because you're not saying, hey, at least I won one. You're like, no, but I had two that I was there. Folks, there he is right there, Pryce Sandfort, freshman Iowa men's basketball player, but growing older right before our very eyes. And you'll get that shot back. I'm not worried one iota about that. So big thank you to our buddy Pryce Sandfort. Pryce, thanks so much.
Yep, thank you.
Truly my pleasure. For Pryce Sandfort, I'm Dave O'Hara. We'll be back to close out the show. We're bringing Pryce's older brother Payton back in, and we're going to close out the show with Pryce and Payton Sandfort. This is Hawkeyed. I'm Dave O'Hara. Back with more in just a few moments.
Who do you trust to produce the best yield? A seed company that's chasing technology, or a seed company that's writing a book on it? Mershman Seeds is a leader in technology. We're independent and family owned. Our sister company, MS Technologies, provides access to world-class traits and genetics. And our starting line seed treatment is second to none. Who can you trust with your yields? Mershman Seeds, your friend in the field.
Welcome back to Hawkeye with me, Dave O'Hara, and Payton Sandfort and Pryce Sandfort. Double blessed today. Double the pleasure, double the fun. Could be double trouble, though. We're going to see. We got a little family feud. I'm kidding. So I'm going to just jump right into it. Who has the better shot? You knew that was coming first off. As Pryce looks down and shakes, so I'm going to go to Pryce first. I'm going to let the older brother follow up. So this is to you, Pryce. Who's got the better? The Sandfort brothers shooting is the claim to fame. Who's got the better shot, Pryce?
Obviously, I'm always going to say myself. It doesn't look like it right now, I know, but my numbers in high school, I'm going to get it back, and I'm always going to say myself.
I love it. I love the confidence. Payton is actually biting, if we could hone in, biting his lower lip. So, all right, older brother, who's the better shooter?
I think it's me, and I think that's been proven over time. That's all I got, period. He's probably the second best shooter.
I love this because it's, we're in Iowa. It's caucus season. It's election time, though. Both guys made their campaign speech. I love it. Nothing more to say. That is great. We're just going to go down the list. Passing is very important, as you both know. Now, this time, we're going to let the young man think about it. Who's the better passer, older brother?
I think we're both really good passers, and that's something that we don't get a ton of credit for, but that's something that has been ingrained to us and is passing the ball, but me.
Okay, there you go. I like the honesty there. Me was the answer. Pryce, he gave us a little filibuster leading into that. So is Payton right? Is it him, or who's the better passer?
I think it's myself. I had a lot of experience in high school playing on the ball. Got to learn a lot of point guard skills. So passing came with that. So I think it's pretty obvious today.
I love it. You both have talked about how NIL has gotten you out in the business community. All the caucuses going on in Iowa. Here's guys right here could work for your campaign depending which side you go. I love the lobbying, you guys. This is fantastic. Okay, well, for offensive players, we covered offense. So now there is offensive rebounding. We're going to go to offense and then defense. I've kind of tipped my hand to you. So start with the younger guy again first with Pryce. Who's the better rebounder?
Honestly, I'll give this one to Payton. I'm going to give credit when credit is due. He's really worked on it, and I think he's proven over his Iowa career that he's got it. It's something I'm working on, and I'm not saying I'm a bad rebounder.
Sure.
It's something I'm going to keep working on, but he's really good at it. I'll give him that.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
You're not going. I'm not going to get in the way. Why? Why do you agree with that? Why have you? And to his point, you really haven't. You and I didn't talk much about that during your segments. That has really, and you've gotten, Big Ten Sixth Man of the Year award, but everybody's talking about you this year with rebounding and leading the team. Why?
Yeah, it's kind of just a mindset, and there is some skill to it, and this is a skill that Pryce has, this is a skill that I have, but we would just go in the gym and have our grandpa shoot, and we would just read where the ball's going off from different angles. So I'm not the most athletic guy in the world. He's not either. So we have to kind of have that advantage of knowing where the ball's going to be and knowing where it's going to go. And then from there, it's just kind of the willingness to go get it and get your hands dirty. And I've struggled with it a little bit over the last couple games, and I've been in there, but just haven't quite won them. So I got to get back to doing that consistently. But he's a pretty good rebounder too. He averaged over 10 in high school, which is not easy to do. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that off camera we talked about Grandpa Bo, and I've mentioned him on camera too, and I like what you said. You're like, oh, Grandpa Bo will get on you. So you guys had to rebound. Oh, now we go to defense, because offensive players will say, yeah, it's me, it's me. All right, we're going to start with the senior here, the junior, but the senior brothers of the older brother of the Sandforts here. Who's the better defensive player?
You know, I am I'm getting a lot better. I think in high school I didn't really have to guard. I would just kind of get in the way and block shots, but you can't really do that at this level. And honestly, when I was a junior in high school, we would give our toughest assignment to Pryce, so I might have to give this one to him just because, you know, I mean, yeah, in high school I didn't want to guard very much. I just wanted to shoot the ball and rebound. So it's something that I continue to work on every day and improve. And I've gotten, like, I think, substantially better since my freshman year here at Iowa. But you know, he's more.
Well, again, you're in your junior year here at Iowa, but the senior brother to the two brothers, and you're a freshman. So, is he right, Pryce? Are you the better defender?
He is correct. Yes.
Why?
Like
Why would you say that?
Like he said, I starting with my freshman year in high school, you know, like he said, I'd get the hardest assignments, and it's always something I've kind of taken pride in. But this year, I still don't think I've been very good. I think I need to be a lot better, and it's a big jump. You know, guys are a lot quicker. I'm guarding a lot quicker wings than I did in high school. I guarded the big man in high school. I just sit in the middle of the paint and block people. So, you know, just keep working on it. Coaches are working on it with me, but it's something I really think about and take pride in. So I'll get there.
Well, and I was going to get into and thank you both for your candor. I was going to get into who's the better brother and who's mom and dad's favorite, and I won't do that to you because we spent enough time with the head-to-head here. But talk to me then, as we talked during your show, both of your shows separately. What was it like to have your younger brother here? So you mentioned last year, hey, you're going to teach him things, you're going to bring him in. So, you know, Pryce has said you're a good older brother, you're a trailblazer, you let him down the path being the older brother. But is it tougher sometimes bringing your younger brother in and being the trailblazer, or has it just been nothing but roses?
Well, obviously it hasn't been nothing but roses, but I think there's a lot of good and there's some bad that comes with it. But I would say the good definitely outweighs the bad, and you know, I'm really
What's
glad
one
that he's here.
somewhat bad thing? I don't want to get negative, but if there was one tough thing, what would be the tough thing about being the older or having your younger brother here?
I would say maybe subbing him out. I don't like doing that very much. When Coach tells me to get Pryce, I'm like, oh, dang it. Like, I wanted to play together. But,
okay.
Yeah, I think, I'd rather he stay on the floor with me, but, you know, I also want to go in the game, so I'm not going to say no.
Self-preservation is always the key, Payton. Come on now. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fair answer. So I'm going to now turn it to you with your senior or your older brother, the senior Sandfort here, junior year, freshman year. Is it easier having a brother blazing a trail for you, or would you prefer maybe, hey, just you have your own identity and you be yourself? What do you prefer?
Well, obviously I chose to be here with him, so I prefer to play with him, but there's some negatives, I think, towards me, trying to live up to what he's done, and people comparing me to him, and, you know, asking if I'm going to be as good as him. It's tough, and it can wear on the mind a little bit, but like I said, just got to stay in your own mind and be who you are. But obviously having him as a leader for me coming in, learning a lot of new things, something that not everybody gets, very few get, so very thankful for that, and yeah.
So then we'll go off the basketball floor, knowing brothers as I do. I'm the youngest of 7 kids. I had 3 older brothers, 3 older sisters. A little bit of roughhousing going on here and there in the Sandfort house. So who's the tougher? Who's the better wrestler? Who's the better fighter? I'm going to start with the young man first, with Pryce.
Growing up, it was always me. I could take some big hits. He used to be a lot bigger than me, so I had to take some hits, but I always fought back and, you know, showed my toughness there.
Payton, is that true? You picked on your younger brother?
Yeah, I sent him to the hospital once, so I think that automatically qualifies me as the
Yes,
better.
let's get into that story.
fighter.
How did you send him to the hospital?
I think I hit him so hard that he hit the corner and
I'll
split his ear
clarify.
open.
We were having a pillow fight. A pillow fight.
Well, yeah, you sent your younger
I
brother
was
to the
like- I
hospital
don't
on a
remember-
pillow
I don't
fight.
remember the
What, did you have
details.
rocks in the pillowcase? What
I
happened
think I
here?
just had strong arms.
All right, Pryce, continue with the story. Yes, please.
Pillow fight. So, yeah, he just hit me pretty hard. I fell down. I tear my ear open on the table. So
That qualifies me for the better.
I'm not gonna. Well, I'm gonna watch myself around you, Peyton. I tell you.
didn't shed a tear though. That was the top.
Okay. So here we go. Mark tape on that, Michael. Well, we got it done. He did not shed a tear. Folks, I want you to know the time that these two both gave to the programs the last couple of weeks, this program, the past two programs. I want to thank them both so much. Peyton, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pryce, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Both are very welcome. Payton Sandfort, Pryce Sandfort, junior shooting star here at Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball, freshman shooting star here at Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball. So for the brothers Sandfort, I'm Dave O'Hara with Hawkeye. Thanks again to my production partner, Michael Merrick, and of course, James Allen, SID for the Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball team. For all the aforementioned folks, that's all from us at Hawkeye. Thanks to all of you. And as always, thanks for staying tuned at the end of the program for these rolling credits to give our advertisers and sponsors the attention and credit they so richly deserve. And as always, to our aforementioned guests and to you, the viewers. That's all from us at Hawkeye. Thanks to all of you.